Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the RC session. I hope you're all geared up. आज अच्छे वाले passages, सारे passages अच्छे होते हैं, but I'm trying to take diverse topics so that we are comfortable solving all reading and solving all kind of passages. जनरली स्टूडेंट्स का मुझे फीडबैक मिलता है कि फिलोसॉफिकल पैसेजेस नहीं हो रहे, लिटरेचर के नहीं हो रहे हैं. सो आई ट्राई एंड गेट एज मेनी एज पॉसिबल diverse topics so that we become comfortable reading it and solving it. Good evening, Siddhant. Good evening, Vishnupriya. Good evening, Vagisha. Now, please log into menti.com and enter the code 888-26660. So that is 8882 and 6660. Good evening, Shreya. So shall we begin? If you're ready to begin, please give me a thumbs up so I can start. Logical evening to you too, Sakshi. I want to say a perfect score evening to everyone. I want everybody to have the perfect score. Good evening, Vidhi. So am I getting your thumbs up or not? Good evening, Aviral. A viral. You're just pulling your leg. Logged in, everyone? Good evening, Diksha. जल्दी जल्दी रिस्पॉन्ड करो ना, नहीं तो अपना टाइम कितना आगे चले जाता है. We finish solving it in 1 hour. Okay, starting off. Now, these are the questions in passage 1. Please have a look at the questions and then I'll take you to the passage. No, Viral. I am praying that everybody gets a perfect score. You don't have fever. Chalo, going to the passage now. Please read. And since it's going to take some time for you to understand, hence we are going to time ourselves. It should not take you more than, let's say, 4.5 minutes. Since you have already looked at the passage, the questions, it will be easier for you to solve. Please start. And keep hitting the like button. Excuse me. Very good, Sakshi. Excellent. There's still 35 seconds to go. Okay, time is up, everyone. Let's begin the process of solving. There you go. What is the tone of the passage? Look at the options. Well, 50-50% almost. Answer is B. It is argumentative. Now let's look at the easiest to eliminate will be. And always remember, when we are solving RC questions, it's always easy for me to solve if I eliminate the incorrect answers. बाकी बचेंगे दो, उसके ऊपर you can regress if required. But एक बार if you are looking at skimming and scanning, then yes, you may or may not require to go back to the passage. Now, if I look at it, why do I eliminate option number 3 and 4? Derisive का मतलब होता है belittling, insulting, नीचा दिखाने वाला. तो यहाँ तो कहीं भी ना तो डैन नीचा दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहा है ना रिचर्ड कर रहा है, तो आपका ये डेरिसिव हट गया. ऑप्टिमिज्म कहीं है नहीं एलिमेंट यहाँ पे. बाकी बचता है परसुएसिव एंड आर्गुमेंटेटिव. नाउ परसुएसिव विल बी व्हेन somebody is trying me to convince something. If I'm trying to convince you about buying a dress, I'll be persuasive about it. But if I look at it, this is a normal discussion going on between two philosophers, Dan and Richard. Dan ने 5th January को एक अपना argument लिखा. Argument would mean what he thinks about that particular topic, and 5 days later Richard responded to it. And this is basically a simple exchange of views with no negative feelings. Hence, it is going to be argumentative. Now, you need to understand that argument wala argumentative nahi hoga. Argument is like it ends up, it's a conflict. But when I look at an argumentative tone, there's basically it's kind of exchange of views, kind of a debate. Hence, answer is going to be B. Clear, everyone? If yes, please give me a thumbs up. This is your question 2. Have a look at the options so that we can go and click answers. and keep hitting the like button, everyone. Very good. Majority of you got it correct. Answer is actually D. और ये पैसेज में पढ़ोगे तो काफी क्लियरली दिया गया है. The question was according to one of the arguments in the passage, what should countries consider in order to avoid making ineffective policies? If I look at it, ये रहा Dan ने कहा था. If we look at it with this particular line, if we are to make progress on the world's major problems, we will have to learn more about religions and the influence they wield over people's lives and actions. So we are looking at A wala, which says how religions affect people's lifestyle and behavior. That will be actions wala part. Failure to appreciate the dynamics of religious allegiance. Allegiance is, we are talking about, attachment to something, and the psychological impact of religious differences. So वो वाला context में आ जाता how religion impacts people's bonding, and the last one, the kind of impact religious differences have on people on a subconscious level. So that will be your psychology part. Hence answer is going to be D. Going on to the next question. If you have doubts, please type in your doubts. Going to your options now. Well, half of you got it right, half of you got it wrong. Mostly got it wrong. Answer is actually B. ठीक है? The question is, why does Dan compare religion with music? So if I go to the passage, ये line देखिए, Dan की आखिरी lines जो है कुछ, that perhaps we should try to eliminate music while we are at it. So ये कॉन्टेक्स्ट आ रहा है कि रिलीजन को बात करते हैं कि मेनी ऑफ यू मे थिंक दैट द वर्ल्ड विल बी अ बेटर प्लेस विदाउट रिलीजन. बोल रहा है उसके आगे बोल रहा है परहैप्स वी शुड ट्राई टू एलिमिनेट म्यूजिक व्हाइल वी आर एट इट. It inflames the passions and seduces many young people into wasted lives. So when I talk about wasted lives, so talking about wasting my life, ruining my life, right? Hence, the context that comes out here is the B statement, which says that because according to him, they both make young people so ardent that they throw their lives away. To throw one's life away means to ruin it, to destroy it. Going on to the next question. If you have doubts, you can always type in your doubts. This is your question 4. Okay. Many of you got it incorrect. Answer is actually C. Let's look at what the question has to say. The question is saying, according to the probability clause of a scientific theory mentioned by Richard, which among the following can be inferred as the correct statement? Right? So A says, if we find some data to support the theory of the earth is flat, the theory has a high probability of being true. If we find no data to support the theory of the earth is flat, the theory has a high probability to being false. If the theory of the earth is flat is false, the probability of finding any data to support it tends to be zero. And D says data has no impact on a theory being true or false. Now going to the passage, let's look at it. रिचर्ड की जो बिगनिंग ही थी उसके आर्ग्यूमेंट की स्टार्टेड दिस वे अ साइंटिफिक थ्योरी इज रेंडर्ड प्रोबेबल बाय इट्स डेटा ठीक है if the theory is true the data will probably occur so basically if I look at it Richard is talking or is talking on the logic that statement P or statement A implies statement B. Tick, statement A implies statement B. So statement A is if the theory is true, then the data will probably occur. If it is false, if the theory is false, the data will probably not occur. So when I say if the theory is true, the data will probably occur, that does not mean that if there is data, then there is, the theory is probably true. ये गलत हो जाएगा ये रिवर्स हो गया ये सिंपली बोल रहा है कि if the theory is true then the data will be available. So if I look at that particular aspect, answer is C. If the theory of the earth is flat is false, the probability of finding any data to support it tends to be zero. Is it clear everyone? Fourth one was a tricky question, so please give me a thumbs up if you have understood it. I'm waiting for your thumbs up, everyone. Thank you, Vagisha, for your quick response. Kamal, Vishnupriya, Sakshi, Aviral, Shreya, Siddhant, and everyone, give me a thumbs up if you've understood it. And keep hitting the like button, everyone. Chalo. Very good. Going to the next question. So, which among the following can successfully replace the word purpose in the passage? Let's have a look at the options and we'll go to the options. Well, almost 50% got it incorrect. Almost 50% got it correct. Answer is A. ठीक है इंडिकेट्स वाला बात नहीं हो रहा. देखो ये वर्ड देखते कहाँ यूज हुआ उन्होंने. Criterion 4 drops out when we have a theory such as theism, which purports to explain all data. So, which does what to explain data? क्या करेगा वो? एक थ्योरी है थीजम की, वो क्या करेगी कि I can explain all data. So it cannot be indicates to explain all data. ये गलत हो जाएगा आपका. Challenges भी नहीं हो रहा है. Intents to, वो सिर्फ इंटेंट रहेगा. थीजम का इंटेंशन कहाँ से आएगा? So what's left is claim. So the we have a theory such as theism which claims to explain all data. That is all observable phenomena. So hence answer is going to be A. Now let's look at the leaderboard, everyone. Very good. Monish is the fastest one, has scored the highest. Now we'll go to the next passage, and I hope you're able to solve with more accuracy. If you have any doubts, please ask. Chal, going to passage 2. These are the questions of passage 2. Please read them quickly. Now going to the passage. Again, you have 4.5 minutes. Please start. Excuse me. क्योंकि मैंने अभी बोला ही नहीं है। अभी तो पैसेज पढ़ रहे हैं ना सब लोग। 10 seconds. Chalo, time is up. We are going to the questions now. Question number 6. Read the question and the options quickly. Let's look at the options and solve. Oops. Well, only 3 got it correct. Answer is actually anaphora. ठीक है? Now, अब ये समझाने के लिए, since I cannot write as I usually do, and on the PPT where you are able to do it, I can erase and explain and all. So what I have done is I have defined everything with one example each. ठीक है? Now let's look at it. What is an alliteration? Alliteration is there is the occurrence of the same letter or the sound, initial sound of that at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words. जैसे for example, money matters. ठीक? We have mind over matter. Then we have such things as public policy. ठीक है, ये हो गए alliteration. Antithesis is दो opposing या contrasting ideas को पास पास रखा हुआ है. Juxtaposition will mean adjacent to each other. So that's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. तो यहाँ कहाँ आपका opposition? Now, by the way, this was the sentence that was said by Neil Armstrong when he first kept his foot on the moon. ठीक है? तो क्या हो गया? One small step for man. एक छोटा सा कदम है आदमी के लिए, but it's a one giant leap for mankind. But सारे इंसानों के लिए बहुत बड़ी एक छलांग है. Right? So there is this contradiction of ideas. Another example that generally, people uses is man wishes, God disposes. To err is human and to forgive divine. So these are your examples of antithesis. Next comes apostrophe. Apostrophe is when the speaker directly addresses, मतलब वो speaker ऐसे कोई चीज से या इंसान से बोलता है जो वहां नहीं है और रिप्लाई नहीं कर सकता है. ठीक है, ये एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग सा एग्जाम्पल है, ये फ्रेंच रिवॉल्यूशन के टाइम पे यूज किया हुआ है. ओ लिबर्टी. अब लिबर्टी तो आएगी नहीं ना, जवाब भी नहीं देगी, बट लिबर्टी इज एन एब्स्ट्रैक्ट आइडिया. मैं उसको एज अ स्पीकर एड्रेस कर रही हूँ. ओ लिबर्टी, व्हाट क्राइम्स आर कमिटेड इन योर नेम. This is your example of apostrophe. And anaphora is basically the repetition of a word or an expression at the beginning of successive phrases and clauses. So ये जो anaphora का example दिया है, if I look at it, ask, that is a repetition of word at the beginning of successive phrases. एक phrase में आया, sorry, एक clause में आया, दूसरे clause में आया. Now this is a quote by John F. Kennedy, the US president. Okay. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. So this is an example of एनाफोरा। और अगर हम ऑप्शंस वाले कॉन्टेक्स्ट में देखते हैं इट मस्ट बी जस्ट फाइन, इट मस्ट बी हेल, इट मस्ट बी वेरी साइलेंट। तो क्या रिपीट हो रहा है? पूरा का पूरा एक फ्रेज रिपीट हो रहा है, इट मस्ट बी एंड इट मस्ट बी, हेंस दिस इज एनाफोरा। इज इट क्लियर एवरीवन? Going on to question number 7. Ashi, why did you retract your message? Of course, it was Neil Armstrong. I think that's what you had written. Chalo, solve the question number 7. Well, answer is C. अब अपन क्वेश्चन की तरफ वापस जा रहे हैं. Now, what can you infer from the passage as the reason behind Atwood writing? क्या लिखा उन्होंने? To be a man who is watched by women must be entirely strange. ठीक है? Now, going to the passage, यहाँ पे आया है और उसका एक्सप्लेनेशन आगे उसके ही आगे लिखा हुआ है. To be a man who is watched by women must be entirely strange, writes Margaret Atwood. Strange means both something that makes you uncomfortable as well as something that is uncommon. In Cat's Eye, The Robber Bride, uh, Alice Grace, as well as The Handmaid's Tale, where either it is a woman who watches another woman or it is a man watching a woman. तो या तो वुमन लुक्स एट अ वुमन और अ मैन इज वॉचिंग अ वुमन. तो अब यहाँ पे स्ट्रेंज क्या होगा फॉर अ मैन जब सम वुमन इज watching him, so it was uncommon. Hence answer is going to be C. Because in societies portrayed in Atwood novels, it is extremely uncommon for a man to be constantly watched by women. Is it clear, everyone? Going to question number 8. Very good. Majority of you got it correct. Very proud of you. ये directly mentioned है. Look at the last few lines. It is in the process of making friends and above all keeping them that the patriarchal structures and the gendered roles primarily became visible to Elaine. Very good, everyone. Going to the next one. Very good. Again, majority of you got it correct. Answer is D. अब अगर अपन ऑप्शंस की तरफ जाके देखते हैं, ए और सी तो इरेलेवेंट है क्योंकि कहीं मेंशन्ड ही नहीं है, बाकी बचता है बी और डी. ठीक है. Nowhere it is written that because the ones that are watching always want the person to remain quiet. मतलब जो देख रहा है वो चाहता है कि वो जिसको देख रहा है वो चुप बैठे, ये कहीं मेंशन नहीं आया. Now C कह रहा the other is trying to impress, जिसको the person who is watched wants to impress the watcher, ये context भी कहीं नहीं आया. बाकी आता B और D. B is saying because being watched is very uncomfortable and one cannot express everything that the way one wants to. If I look at the part where I get this particular answer, it comes to the second last paragraph, last line. Lastly, the citation accentuates the fact that one is constant when one is constantly watched, one is no longer part of one's own storytelling. तो बेसिकली अगर कोई मुझे वॉच कर रहा है तो मैं अपनी स्टोरी नहीं बता सकती है. It must be very silent. So whatever story I have to say has to be silent. Hence answer is going to be D. And the last question. (50-50) Answer is actually B. Let's look why it is scrutinized. अगर देखते हैं तो ये आया है फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ में, वहां जहां पे कि मार्गरेट आर्टवुड के द हैंडमेड्स टेल का एक एक्सर्प्ट कोट किया गया है. To have them watching him all the time, to have them wondering what he is going to do next, to have them flinch when he moves, even if it is a harmless enough move, to reach for an ashtray perhaps, to have them sizing him up, to have them thinking he can't do it, he won't do it. तो बेसिकली क्या कर रहे हैं वो, अगर देखते हैं तो यहाँ पे वॉचिंग के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में आया है, पूरा का पूरा पैसेज वॉचिंग के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में है. So the only way we are going to answer this particular part is when you watch something carefully, right? So hence answer will be scrutinize. When you examine something carefully, that is your scrutinize. Hence answer is going to be B. It cannot be judged. You're not basically judging a person whether he's good or bad wala context नहीं. You're simply watching him. You're not forming, और इस पैसेज में जिस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में लिखा गया है और जो भी कोई उसको वॉच कर रहा है, दे आर नॉट फॉर्मिंग एनी ओपिनियन. बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस पूछे हुए हैं. Hence answer is going to be scrutinize. Let's look at the overall leaderboard. Very good, Monish. Many congratulations. You have topped the leaderboard. And anyone, if you have any doubts, please ask me and do it quickly. Else I'll sign off and see you later. I hope you had fun and you were able to, your accuracy has improved because that is what the purpose is. Accuracy में improvement चाहिए और reading में speed improve होनी चाहिए. That's the purpose of this. Chalo, I wish you all a very good evening. Thank you everyone.